Thank you for your testimony. We'll now move to questions. Mr. Orr, you testified before our committee during the past fall semester about your experience with violent threats and harassment and other anti-Semitic behavior on Cornell's campus. You recalled being terrified, knowing that as an outspoken Jewish leader, you could likely be identified and targeted by anyone seeking to do harm. Did you feel the same way during the spring semester that just completed?
Thank you, Chairman Smith. Thankfully, there were no more expressed death threats against Jewish students this semester, but watching the widespread acceptance and normalization of anti-Semitism kind of created a different type of fear in me. Watching myself and fellow Jewish students begin to develop an "it could be worse" mentality. We could be getting stabbed in the eye like my friend Sahar at Yale did, or be told that we deserve to go back to Poland like my friend Shai did. I began to realize how dangerous it is to become desensitized to this form of bigotry and hatred.
Professor Davidai, many of us here have heard about what happened on Columbia University's campus this spring. I'm happy that you are here with us today. So can we hear firsthand from a member of the faculty about what has been going on at Columbia, including the unauthorized encampment, which resulted in police arresting over 100 Columbia students? What do you think are the main factors that led students to feel emboldened to essentially take over Columbia's campus?
Thank you so much. That's a great question. I would say that there are two main factors. One is a complete lack of leadership and accountability from the administration. The student organizations and their leaders have seen that they can do whatever they want with complete impunity, that when they break the laws, the university will send out a strong email but will not follow it. When they get suspended, nothing actually is enforced, that they can hold unauthorized protests and won't be dispersed, that they can basically spew out hate, anti-Semitism, and pro-terror rhetoric, and nothing will happen to them. And the second factor is the faculty. There have been many faculty who've not only indoctrinated these students and egged them on to keep going, like Professor Catherine Frank, but many faculty who actually defended with their bodies to stop police enforcement of the illegal encampment. So when you have a mixture of pro-Hamas, pro-Islamic Jihad faculty and an administration that shows no leadership and no accountability, that's what you get.
So I think it's safe to say, based on your answer there, that Columbia has not been living up to its obligations, to its students, and fulfilling its educational purpose.
I would say that it didn't even pretend to live up. It's not that Columbia can't, it's that Columbia won't.
Columbia won't. And the professors you listed in your opening statement, that's extremely disturbing. Thank you. Mr. Marcus, part of today's hearing is to see what, if anything, Congress can or should do to hold schools accountable and protect students on campus. For this committee, that includes considering whether colleges and universities are complying with Section 501 of the Internal Revenue Code and fulfilling their tax-exempt purpose. For our committees, that may mean, for other committees, that also may mean looking at Title VI and the Department of Education's process for resolving these types of complaints. Based on your experience, do you think it would be helpful if federal agencies had additional tools to use when investigating colleges and universities for alleged violations of anti-discrimination laws? And are there any policy solutions Congress should consider?
Yes, Chairman Smith, thank you. I do think that additional remedies are necessary. There is the possibility of lawsuits, but those are expensive and lengthy. The current process at OCR is also somewhat cumbersome and seldom leads to the sort of the sort of resolution that really would require fundamental change, nor is the OCR system necessarily built for the sort of crisis that we have today. So for those institutions that are recalcitrant in the face of growing anti-Semitism to which they have shown something like deliberate indifference, I think a more streamlined, quicker process that could lead to issues with respect to tax-exempt status would be a welcome addition to the remedies that are now at play.
Thank you. I'd like to recognize the ranking